Kilo 1-1, Task Force Podcast, RTF. How copy?
I got cats. I'll shoot my cat. I don't care if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. I love my cat. Cat's a devil.
Cats are the devil.
Wow.
That's the truth.
Okay. You're firing.
That was pretty fucking ninja.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Task Force Podcast. I'm glad you could join us again. Just want to let you guys know we appreciate all the support and everything, and be sure to check us out on our website, Task Force Podcast, so we can kind of keep up with us and everything. I'm your host, Snake, joined by my co-host.
Nasty.
Not
awkward on the mic. Yeah.
So, no, I think the first one went over pretty well, and we got some pretty good feedback from everybody, so it's kind of cool. Also been seeing a big blow up on
the
Instagram
social
and
media.
Facebook. Oh, yeah. Everybody's been following, so that's cool. We appreciate it, definitely. Today, we talk about real steel and how it translates over in airsoft or vice versa.
This will be interesting.
No, for sure. Personally, I think that airsoft's a great training tool for real steel. It allows you to get that extra trigger time and that force on force that you can't get.
And in my opinion, it helps with because you and your buddies just can't go take your AR-15s to a field and just like live fire.
Right. Not unless you know somebody. You got a field that's empty.
I'm talking if you have acres out in the middle of somewhere,
right.
Yes, sure.
Right.
But no, airsoft is it lets you, I guess you can say, put yourself as if you were in a real situation.
Right.
You're comfortable with your gear.
Right.
So instead of your mid-cap mags, when it comes time, if it ever comes time, pull those mags out, slip your real ones in.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like nothing even changed.
Yep. For sure. No, I think it's good because if you're out there running around with your gear and you got dudes who play airsoft every single weekend, I would say that those dudes probably have a better understanding how their gear works under pressure than the guy who just throws on his kit and goes to the range and fires a couple hundred rounds and doesn't really do any super dynamic moving while he's shooting.
Right. Agreed.
So that guy's going to have some huge advantages. You're going to know, after running an airsoft game, especially if you're doing milsim, you're trying to walk through any buildings or stuff like that, and you got that type of thing going. And you're needing to translate from a woodland area into a CQB environment. Sometimes in the woodland area, you're going to have that little bit extra space. So if you got the shit hanging off the sides of you, you can get wherever. But the moment you step inside of a door, shit gets hung up, bro.
Yeah,
it's happened to me many times.
It's also, in my opinion, if you put a lot of time and effort in actually trying to learn the logistics behind how the military and, the forces around the world actually operate, whether you have a squad, 2 people, 4 people, 10, and how you can work together, communication, understanding what that person's going to do and what you need to do in that specific situation. Because you can be like, okay, something's going down. You have a group of random 10 dudes. 2 of the fucking 10 know what they're doing and can understand movement, the tactical part of it all.
Right. No, for sure. Like, it also kind of gives you, if for some reason in your bug out plan it is to meet up with a certain group of people, it gives you a chance to do that force on force training of this group of dudes versus other dudes, either with proper training who know tactics versus dudes who are just coming at it straight, like bum rushing you, which is a totally different try. It's way different than playing against, like, going from a milsim down to a skirmish,
Yep.
the different approaches to it are totally different, you know, and how
It's
you
very
handle that, you don't know until you get put in that situation.
Right.
But it gives you a chance to train and have those aspects so that way when it comes time.
Also being comfortable with real or airsoft, comfortable with a rifle on you,
Right.
movement with a rifle, and in gear. So if you have a full-sized AR,
Right.
you know, 16 inches,
Yeah.
it's heavy, you got your stuff on it, sights, 203s, whatever, and then it comes to that real situation, you're not having to try to learn how to move with everything
Right.
because you've already been doing that since you were a kid,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's progressing with it.
For sure. I mean, when you like, I would say if you're gonna approach it for nothing but a pure training aspect, I would try to mimic the rifle you have.
That's
Like,
fair. I
I
can
mean,
understand.
Right now, I don't have an SBR or an AR pistol, so for me to go out there and train with a 11.5-inch, 12-inch barrel
Right.
gun and get used to that range of motion and then try to translate it into my, you know, my AR at 16-inch barrel, it's going to translate to a certain extent,
Right.
but one of
But
those times I
sliding
might
through
slide
that
my muzzle.
doorway, sliding through that doorway won't be as smooth.
Right.
Or just the general feel of putting it down, you know, rounds down the range. And that's what I'm saying, because I may run around with a saw in airsoft.
Right.
I don't have a saw.
Right.
I don't have an FN 249.
Oh, yeah.
And but that say that weird situation comes and I get my hands on one
Yeah.
outside the real weight,
Right.
I probably feel pretty comfortable running around with
mean,
it.
I wouldn't think that you would have much of an issue.
No, because I'm used to walking through buildings with because I haven't outside of a collapsible stock. Not much
Right.
is different on my saw.
No. See, and that's what I think is cool about it is like a lot of times guys are saying that like, oh, airsoft doesn't translate because there's no recoil and whatnot. And I don't think that really, I mean, once you get used to managing recoil,
Right.
which really doesn't take that long, it is very translatable.
Yeah.
The dry fire practice is
Mhm.
there. You know, you're squeezing that trigger versus trying to snap the trigger off. You're
Right.
just trying to wait for a clean break.
Because even in airsoft, on your GB bays or your gas-fed rifles,
Yeah, HPAs.
yeah, when you go to yank that trigger, your gun's gonna move like
Yeah.
the real thing.
So
So
it may not
all-
be as amplified. but yeah.
exactly. So practicing that, I guess you could say another version of like trigger control, where you're
Mhm.
not yanking on it, but you're
Right.
easing into it.
Mhm.
And what, a 223? You go to shoulder one of those, it's just like, it's not more than a 22
Yeah,
kick.
it's really not.
It's
that
a 22, just with a little bit more ass behind it.
bad. Right.
So if anybody was to pick up an AR and just start firing it, be like, oh, it ain't that bad,
Right.
you know?
The only thing you got to worry about really is muzzle rise. Once you start
Right.
riding on that, then you get a little bit of muzzle rise. But
Right.
like I said, if you practice it, dude, you can manage it no problem.
Also, when it comes to reloading, if you airsoft with an AR, you know, your reload's going to be the same way, just you're
Right.
going to get a little bit heavier of a mag.
Right.
So I think the translation is awesome. Like if you're real military, you're in right now, you've been deployed or haven't been deployed, it keeps you on your toes, keeps you moving, keeps you healthy, keeps the things running through
Yeah.
your mind, so you're not sitting there watching TV and losing it all.
Right.
Oh, I'll never lose it. You lose it.
Yeah, that muscle memory, dude. If
Mhm.
you don't keep it up, it's just like
Right.
anything. It's you can get it back, but I
Takes
don't know
twice as
if
long,
it's
in my
really going to be.
opinion.
Yeah, I don't know if it's really going to be as good as it once was or
Right.
could have been. But like, have you seen the T-Rex arms video where they brought a dude from Japan or wherever? I'm pretty sure it was Japan. He came here and he's only been playing airsoft for like 3 years. And he just mimics what he sees on the YouTube videos. And they actually put a real rifle in this dude's hands, a real Glock in this dude's hands, and let him just try to keep up with Lucas Botkin from T-Rex
Right.
Arms. And dude fucking kills it. Like, seriously, he's got recoil management down within the first 10, 15 minutes.
Jesus,
Dude.
Christ.
But all, like, the gun safety aspects are there
Mhm.
on, you
Yep.
know, on magazine changes and engaging targets. He's going from safe onto fire, engaging,
Right.
and then going back on the safe. On the transition from the rifle to the pistol, he's throwing the rifle on safe, putting it down, transitioning to the pistol. He's got the tap rack bang down on all of them. Like,
Wow.
it's a really interesting video to watch. It's fucking cool. It's definitely worth a watch.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Dude, it's legit. It totally disproves, in my opinion, everybody who says that it doesn't translate and that if you're just doing airsoft for training, you're wasting your time, because
But-
that's bullshit.
You've really got to want to learn.
Right. Oh yeah, if you don't put in the time and you don't
Right,
have the dedication,
because
it doesn't matter.
You could be that guy that's just a Sunday driver airsofter, you
Mhm.
know, who just goes out once a month or whatever just to get a little muddy, get a little dirty.
Right.
That dude's useless.
Yeah.
Not
I mean,
really.
he's gonna have
He's-
some basic weapon
Right,
manipulation.
but if it's converting into like the real life situation,
yeah,
not really, bud.
Right.
Not gonna help out.
he's not gonna be near as good as a guy who's putting in the time and
Right,
doing
and the effort.
the dry fire, even when you're not playing airsoft. Like, that's a big thing. It really is, and people don't think about it. Even when it comes to real steel, that, you know, when you are at home, bro, it's good to get some snap caps if you don't want to dry fire your pistol empty,
Right.
and practice just hammering on the trigger and drawing with nothing in it. You know what I mean? Or just straight dry fire practice.
Right.
And people miss out on that when it comes to real steel.
I'll walk around my house with my gun, pretending I'm clearing the, house sweep. I will.
So I'm not the only one.
No, I'll do it all the time. I'll get my Glock out, my real steel, drop the mag, empty chamber. You'll check
Right.
5 or 6 times.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll just like, your cat will be following you. You're like, yeah, I'm going upstairs, making sure you know
Oh, yeah.
how can you clear out a stairway, when you have a ridge there.
Right.
Like, what's your angles,
Right.
this. I'll do it all the time.
Right.
I'll do it with my fingers.
I think it's cool because you don't ever know what the situation might be.
Right.
Like, you might be in your bed sleeping and you got to be able to clear your house. So, like, for my situation, my bedroom is like in the middle of my
Right.
house. So I have to clear both ends of the house. So it's like,
Which way do you go first?
Right.
Exactly.
Do I start off at the back? Now the back's got the back door and the front's got the front door.
Right.
So either way, I got a couple
Yep.
points of entry that I got to
Yep.
worry about. So I don't know where it came from or
Right.
whatever. But there's also the aspect of maybe you come home and your door's broken in.
Yeah.
You're going to clear from the front to the back.
Right.
Nobody else is going to have that, I guess you could say, tactical advantage more than you.
Because
you
it's your house.
You get to practice it.
I could walk through my whole house pitch black,
Yeah.
pitch black.
Right.
Ain't nobody breaking into my house can do that.
Right.
So
No, for
you
sure.
already have an advantage.
Right. So do you you don't like weapon lights? What's your stance on that?
I think weapon lights are good. I don't personally currently have one.
Right.
I would like to get one, but I think weapon lights are good. But at the same time, in a dark, your house is dark, your eyes are already used to the dark.
Yeah.
Snapping on, snapping off your flashlight through your house
True.
could potentially worsen it for you.
This is
At
true.
the same time, let someone know you are there. But if you're coming home from work, 6:30 at night, still light outside, you're used to it. Or you're
Right.
going into your basement dark,
Right.
you're going to need that flashlight.
Right. I think it's
know?
more of a surprising, like, if I come around the corner and just like anybody, if they're in the dark, their eyes are probably used to it. But if I blast you with a 1500 lumen light, like, dude,
That's your game over.
you're going to it's going to be kind of hard to see for a minute or two. But at the same time, yes, it goes for me too. The moment
Right.
that light goes off, I have to get my
Readjust.
night vision.
But not like that guy.
right.
Because that guy just got like face
Right.
fucked with light.
Right, but the other 3 rooms before that, I might
Yeah,
have fucked myself
that's
a little
true.
bit.
I think weapon lights are good. Especially if you're coming from light to darkness. But
Yeah.
if you're already in the dark, ain't nothing like your light switch.
Right.
Walk over to, you know where your light switches are.
Yeah.
That dude or person doesn't. So, man, I can come out of a room, hit all 3 light switches, boom, my whole basement's lit up.
Right.
It's also bad for me,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I think weaponized flashlights are good.
There's some tactical advantages.
Yeah.
Like if I'm just lighting them through my flashlight, like in my situation, if I decide to go to the front rather than the rear, he doesn't know where I'm at, not unless he sees a glimpse of light.
That's true.
I'm not leaving lights on behind me as a trail.
That's true. It's rough. It's rough because every situation would be different.
Yeah.
You know, because if I come busting out of my room and I have my gun in my hand, everything's getting shot. Especially if I know someone's in my house. Everything.
See, for me, it's also good because it's like target identification. I got kids.
Yeah,
I got
exactly.
kids.
Well, I mean, I got cats. I'll shoot my
Right.
cat. I don't care if you're at the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. I love my cats.
No, the cats are
Cats are
devil. Cats are the devil.
Wow.
That's the truth.
Okay. You're fired.
So when you're out at airsoft, like I know whenever we go to the mill sim and stuff like that, what we were trying to do is we were always working on like stacking up and getting used to room clearing and stuff like
Right.
that. I know it's going to be useful when you're in a team and an airsoft environment for sure. It's even harder with the real steel because like I'm totally comfortable. I go in a clear building with you with
Right.
with a airsoft rifle, no big deal. But I also know in the back of my head if I get shot, it's like, damn it, ow, and
Right.
then I walk out of the room.
But if I go to shoulder my rifle and shoot you in the back of your shoulder,
Right.
it's not just ow, like you
Right.
blew my fucking shoulder out. Okay.
I know, dude. It's gotta like I would have to put in
The
some
time.
serious time.
Yeah?
Serious time to want to clear a room with a real rifle. Like, am I confident I could do it? I'm definitely confident I
Right.
could do it.
But what about
Am
the guy
I
behind you?
confident if I could do it with a team? I mean, I'm confident I could be okay if I was the first guy in the room. But if I was the second guy in the
I'd
room,
rather be the last guy.
I'd be so worried. I'd be so worried about just muzzle sweeping my dude on accident.
Right. That's why I'd rather be the last guy because I don't have to get shot in the back 3 times.
Just not get in. Just
Yeah,
not go in.
just
Oh,
I'm
they
the
took
dude
care
that
of it. I'm
stays
gonna
out
go in
here.
there now.
Yeah, I'm just out here. Don't worry about me, guys.
It's fine. I'll cover the 6. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Right. But no, that it's true though because I'm stack number 2.
Right.
You know, there's 3, 4, 5, and the first guy goes in left. I go in right.
Right.
Third dude comes in, goes left. Fourth dude goes right. Now, depending on the situation, we're shooting towards each other.
Right.
Because if the target starts running to, let's say, my left, and
Right.
there's you two standing over there,
Yeah.
and I don't know how to trigger control,
Right.
I'm going to try to follow that
You gotta
target.
turn it off so quick. You
Right.
gotta be like, all right, out of my sector. I'm done.
Exactly.
I'm out now.
But that takes time.
It does.
Takes
No, it
so
definitely
much
takes
time because even in airsoft, you'll get a group of, let's say, I don't want to, like a group of people who really have never tried or who really don't know that you're
Right.
gonna help. You're like
Yeah.
you're coming with me. Oh well, man, I'm not, so I've never done this before.
Right.
But you have 2 seconds to learn. Let's roll. You know, sometimes they'll perform okay. Sometimes you'll be like, wow, how'd I get shot in the back of the head? Well,
Dude, I have been peeking a corner at a local skirmish, got about halfway out and engaging a dude and caught a BB from the muzzle of the guy right behind me, like 4 inches from the end of his barrel. And all you can do is just turn and look at them with like the death glare of like, bro, what the fuck?
I'm gonna beat your ass. You understand that?
What
Yeah.
the serious fuck? You just fucking shot me. I gotta
Right.
walk all the way back to respawn. Like, god damn it.
Yep. And that could be 2 miles. That's real. That's
You gotta
happened.
just lay there for 5 minutes and
Yeah.
scream for a fucking medic because
Right.
your teammate taught you or shot you,
Mhm.
and fucking you better hope you got team heal on there.
Yeah.
But
I don't
no,
know.
dude. I think it's taking airsoft and dumping it into a real steel training aspect to be able to acquire these skills in a safe manner where the end result is, ow, what the fuck? You just
Right.
shot me. And then be able to break down the scenario, even in your head and from that guy's point of view, and say, here's what happened and here's what caused me to panic or, not stop myself when I'm sweeping.
Right.
But it's irreplaceable.
It is. It is, because you spend, let's say, 15 years playing airsoft.
Right.
That's a lot of years.
For sure.
That's almost like a year and a half in the military, because you had to start from nothing, right? As a kid.
Right.
You learn, you meet people, you learn things, you learn what to do, what not to do, when.
Right.
But the reason why I give us such a short military time, because it's drilled in you since day one. You've
Right.
never had it drilled in you since day one. Well,
Right.
15 years is a long time, but
And you're getting, a lot of times you're getting that guys that were in the military or are still actively in the military,
and that's what I was
teaching
about
you
to
and
say.
feeding you
Exactly.
these sayings, and it, from a personal level, I think it gives a lot more respect to the dudes who are out there who are serving. Like, I've not met a single person in the airsoft community who doesn't respect a service member or previous service member.
Right.
Like, dude, it doesn't matter if you worked motor pool, if you were fucking infantryman, if you were special forces, like, we hold the same regard for you because you still went out there.
Right.
You still put your life on the line, in essence, to
Right.
protect us. Like, it's important.
I had a minuscule taste of what they had to go through in combat in Oklahoma.
Right.
Like, I'm out here just trying to play airsoft. Don't shoot me in the fucking face,
Right.
please. And we walked those miles. We almost died of sweat, just like. But those are the least of their concerns when
Right.
they're in combat. But to us, I'm like, man, I don't want to climb this hill anymore.
Right.
But they're like, hey, there's a guy trying to kill us up there.
Right.
We need to go take care of that. In our eyes, like, this guy's trying to shoot me with a BB. Just don't. Like, let
Right.
me get up this hill so I don't have to do it again. Like, two totally different worlds. And I do hold mad
I think it
respect for
gives
the
you,
guys
yeah,
who do it
mad
for
respect.
real.
Mad
For real.
respect, dude.
Like, I couldn't even say it. Couldn't
No.
even,
No, I don't think that anything really will ever put you in a situation close to
Right.
that. You can get a little bit of an idea of what it might be like and going from there, but you're never going to know until you
Ever.
know.
Yep, until you know. I just think it's cool that at the beginning it's a fun little thing to play in your backyard,
Right.
airsoft.
Yeah.
Then one day you get that big gun, or
Yeah.
you meet a guy at airsoft who hands you a gun,
Right.
and you're like, oh, holy fuck, this is like a real deal. This isn't Dick's Walmart,
Right.
type gun.
It's a fucking legit shit.
It's a legit gun. And then you start playing, and then you're like, wow, this is kind of like the shit I would use in Call of Duty or Battlefield.
Right.
It's like everybody wants to be like, oh, 240. I really hope I get to touch one someday.
Right.
You can.
Right.
Go buy one.
Yeah.
Go mow some lawns,
Right.
And then you start building this career out of airsoft. And then the guys like us who are like, I want to take this a step further.
Yeah.
I don't want to just come run around out here in my tennis shoes and just I want to start buying gear.
Right.
I want to start buying that legit shit. I want to start training like they really do in the military.
Right.
I want to play as if I could play that role, even though I know I can't in the real life.
Right. I still want to be able to hold the ability to protect not only myself but my family and my friends if
Right.
the situation ever were to come.
And
God
you
forbid
can
it ever
do
does,
that
but-
through airsoft.
Right.
It's awesome.
I mean, definitely, don't get me wrong, definitely go out there and still get training from,
Right.
the top dudes like
Pay the
Haley
money.
Strategic, stuff like that. They're definitely worth it. I mean,
Right.
it is going to be top-notch training, but
your foundation
yeah.
can be built solely
Oh, yeah.
through we would spend nights Dropping pistol mag, slapping another one in, aim, squeeze trigger.
Right.
Drop mag, same thing.
Oh, dude, the fundamentals are built for sure.
All day. And you're being able to be in a real tight spot, make a decision, good or bad, and just make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, it builds self-confidence too.
For sure.
Because you get around a bunch of guys who are like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, but you're a quiet guy.
Right.
You're just going to jump up one day and be like, fucking go.
Right.
Let's make this happen. And then you now become, like we talked last episode, you are now becoming a squad leader.
Right.
Without even knowing it. That builds, because in a real life situation, if you're saying like we're all scared, we're all like, oh my God, what's going on? But no one's doing anything.
Yeah.
Could you build the courage to be the one to stand up and start making shit happen?
I don't know.
You can learn that through airsoft.
You can learn the basic skills.
Right.
I don't think anything will ever prepare you for the role of being able to tell somebody, hey, I need you to go get this done, knowing
Right.
you're not just sending somebody out there to get shot with some BBs, but knowing that it's like,
You might die, die.
These guys
Right.
could fucking die.
Right, but at
Like,
the same time, now you know, are you going to be that guy who's going to stand up?
Right. For sure. I mean, I don't know of any other situations other than the real life.
Yeah, because that's all
But
we
you
have
in
is
that.
real life.
Right.
What's going to happen?
Right.
You know?
Same thing, I guess, with training. And that's why they do the
Yeah.
simulations and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one to train for.
It is.
That's really hard.
But that's all we know, you know?
Right.
Because we can go, me and you and two other guys can go train all day on, you know, going out shooting targets, because we can go buy paper targets anywhere.
Right.
You know, go shoot rounds, but at the end of the day, we still all have this deep inside our brain fantasy. Could I transfer this into a real life situation? Because if we don't go hardcore just to try to pretend we're hardcore, we're doing this to say, like, could I act this way in real life?
I can see that.
No, really.
Kinda like
If we
this
think about
underlying-
it.
I've never really thought about it.
Yeah, if you sit back and just really think about the gear, the guns, the hours spent, like, we don't do this just for nothing. We're all here to survive. So
Right.
when that time came and someone hands you a gun, you already have that knowledge of why it runs that way, how it runs, how can we keep it running, and how can we survive.
Right.
Instead of being hit by a BB, let's hope it never happens, but
Right. But dude, and with that, I'm also going to say, like, if you don't have medical training or tactical casualty combat training, like, you really should work
Yes.
on getting that, because it's huge. Like, myself personally became an EMT, stuff like that. I do other things now, but like, knowing that information, I
Right.
think, puts you worlds above, especially in the situations that we are finding nowadays with the mass shooters and stuff like
Right.
that. Like,
it's
being
unfortunate.
able to have somebody there who has the knowledge, and also, I mean, like, I carry this stuff with me now
Right.
because it's important. Like, you don't know. I pray and I hope that I never have anything like that come across around me and it ever happens. But
Anywhere.
it's like having a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
I'd rather have it, not need it, than need it and not
your shit's
have it.
burning.
Right.
Right. Even if it's simple as oh man, you tripped, your knee caught a rock,
For sure.
split your kneecap open. Okay, I can help you with that.
Right.
All the way to that, wow, dude just fell out of a 2-story building.
Right.
We hope not. Shit's real.
What can I do?
Right.
Right.
We're going to duct tape sticks to your leg, bud, and don't move. Okay.
There's injuries that happen in real soft, in airsoft.
Yeah. I've personally experienced about
Right.
90 of 100 of them.
We had one guy here local who's playing, actually broke his ankle.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this the other day, actually, and I thought it was crazy because I was younger at the time, and dude was like, hell no, you ain't gonna cut my boots off. Like, I know my ankle's broken, but you ain't gonna cut them off. These expensive ass
That's
fucking
true.
boots.
These boots
like,
are
he's like, you
cheap.
just fucking untie them and you take them off. You can cut my pants, but
Not my
fuck
boots,
that.
bro.
You're not cutting my boots.
Yep.
No.
The dude who comes running down, passes out mid-sprint,
Yeah.
smacks the side of a building in front of me. That was kind of like a, what the fuck? You know? Then the old Marine we were playing with, rip his shirt open, I'm going to piss on his chest.
Jesus Christ.
That'll wake him up.
Hydrate.
Yeah, right.
Please hydrate.
Always don't get peed on.
Nobody wants to see the anteater whip out.
No.
And just
He really said
straining
that,
on
though.
people.
On God, on everything.
I can't. I would be
Feed
like,
this man a
I'd be like,
banana.
hey, I'm done. I'm out on this. If we're talking about pissing on people, I'm done.
Right. I'm leaving.
Hard line.
Right.
A hard line.
But the real steel transitioning, or airsoft to
Dude, for sure.
it's there in every day. Every day you learn something. And go play airsoft to learn.
Yeah.
Learn something new. Learn a new tactic.
Yeah.
Learn a new idea. Why he plays that way. Why you play. Why do you play the way you play?
Right. Why do I play the way I play?
Why?
I don't know.
Exactly. We don't fucking know. We just go to play. We
just-
go to look like
I
the
just
dudes
know,
on YouTube.
like, over time, the way I have played, I've come up with my kind of own playing style and whatnot. I enjoy learning the tactics and talking to these dudes who have been there, done that, getting the insight, figuring it out, and like being able to apply these in these airsoft situations, knowing that if you practice them and you really work at them, they're going to translate into
Yes.
real life. And I think that's fucking killer. I
Right.
think it's awesome.
Right. And then we can go deeper into, let's say, the guns. Everybody researches their favorite gun, whether it's a
Right.
pistol, rifle, whatever, rocket launcher, if you're into that, the Gustav. Okay.
Right.
So in my head, I love AKs.
Yeah.
If you handed me a real AK right now, I could tear it down with no problem.
Right.
You could tear it down at AR, no
Oh,
problem.
yeah.
That translates into
Yeah.
like your airsoft guns. If
Mhm.
you have the gas guns,
And
I
they
can
become
tear
super realistic.
right. I can tear apart my M4 and G36, no
Yeah.
time. Translates to real life too.
Right.
Oh, my gun's jammed. How can I unjam it?
Right.
Why is it dirty? How can we clean it? That all translates, man.
No, for sure. Like I said, I think people just like are highly underutilizing it. Like, I know simunitions and all that, and I agree, simunitions have their place and whatnot. But when you look at like police forces,
Right.
especially these smaller towns like around us, dude, there's a lot of rural towns,
Mhm.
and they all got their own like little SWAT teams at
Mhm.
most of them. These guys could be getting higher quality training by having these airsoft guns, and they're a cheaper alternative to
Right.
the other things that are out there.
Right. Right. Okay, guys, this weekend, get together. We're playing airsoft.
Right.
And watch every single one of them laugh at you.
Right.
But by the end of the day, they're going to be like, holy shit, I'm
Right.
sweating. I can't hardly move. What the hell we do? Oh,
Yeah.
well, we trained.
Right.
But how? We were getting shot with plastic BBs. Yeah, that's the goal. Don't get shot.
Right.
So how can we improve that?
Right.
You were behind that barrier, but I was able to shoot you. Let's
Right.
fix that.
Right.
And they're
Not
going to be
actually
like,
find
holy shit.
Yeah.
And I can go to my local Walmart, buy 10,000 BBs for like $10
Right.
instead of a box of simunition for what, 60, 75 bucks?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. I don't know why people don't go for it more, but hopefully that'll change.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're going to start bringing a lot more to the table, and those guys who are maybe even exiting the military and looking for something
Right.
to do to kind of
Get their mind off
get
things.
their mind off of it, or kind of re-pick up some of that camaraderie. Like,
Right.
it's there. It's an
Because
option.
whether you're 30, you just got out of the military, you've been on 4 tours, and you don't want to lose that, you know,
Right.
you pick up airsoft, and then you meet some dude who's much younger than you, who's like, I'm gonna go fucking fight.
Right. Or some dude who's currently in.
Oh, exactly. And you two buddy up, and you're like, well, listen, I'm gonna show you the ropes.
Right.
And we're going to, talk to each other how you were trained different than I was. And then we're going to go make this happen and teach. It's all
Yeah.
about teaching,
Oh, yeah.
man.
Dude, Task Force Mayhem. Those guys,
Yeah.
fucking ex-Army Rangers, some
Right.
still current. Like, that's cool stuff. That's fucking legit. And they're teaching some of these guys who are wanting to take that path and giving them tips and, helping them get fucking motivated for some of this. Like,
And
and
exceed.
and not bullshitting them. They're not
Right.
painting a fake picture. They're like
Right.
telling them the real deal. Like, this is what you're looking at. And I think that's fucking kudos to them. That's awesome.
Big,
like trying
big,
to better
big.
other people is awesome. Growing the sport of airsoft alone, like it's huge.
Right.
I know, like Second Amendment right now is a big thing. They're trying to cut it down, and there's been a lot of attacks on it right now. But airsoft is also one that they're going for.
Sure.
It's always been that way.
It's teaching young kids how to fight war and die and be okay with death. It's like, get off my ass.
Right. It's stupid, dude.
At the end of the day, we're out here to have fun. At the end of the day, we're out here to maybe, you know what? This weekend, instead of just coming out, shooting, messing with the gear, we're going to come out and play serious.
Right.
Have our radios. We know our code talk. We're blah, 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 blah. And then all around it can be family fun. Brothers, sisters, wives, husbands come out and play. Or then you get the guys who roll up in 3 SUVs. And you're like, these guys, cool. I guess we're about to play hard today, guys. As you know,
yeah,
I've seen it.
Yeah, no, I think there's a ton of cool things that go into it, especially like the new milsims now and the directions they're pushing.
100% can translate to real steel, because real steel means a bunch of different things other than the gun is a real gun.
Right.
Real steel is real life. So
there's different situations,
yeah,
but you're building the fundamentals.
Exactly. It's all about getting the foundation.
That foundation.
That
foundation, though. But I think that's probably going to wrap it up for us here. So be sure to join us on the next episode, Task Force Podcast. Again, thank you guys for the support. Mad love out there to you guys. Be sure to follow us. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. You can find us at taskforce_podcast. Or you can check out our website again, taskforcepodcast.com. So, again, love you guys. See you on the next episode.
Have a good one. Deuces.
Yeah, hoes. We pimpin'.
Task Force Podcast, this is Kilo 1-1. Good effect on target. You are now cleared to RTB. How copy?